Good morning. It is Tuesday, April 5th. Time for the Wisconsin primaries. Really would like to see Donald Trump get, finally have the wheels fall off of that wagon. Although I'm not a big fan of having the idea of having Ted Cruz as our president either. And I hope that either one would be relatively easy to beat for the Democrats. On the Democratic side, I'm pretty sure Bernie is going to win. I'm frankly hoping he doesn't win by so much that it causes Hillary to start to go negative, because I don't think that would be good for the Democrats in the long run. I know a lot of people might feel she's been negative already, or that the press has been negative, but if you've been around political circles long, you know that's not the case. Here comes a train. Some of the trains we get along here are really quite long, so maybe I'll just run that train and keep talking. Yeah, this race on the Democratic side has not been very negative on either side. Bernie has generally been credited with not being negative towards Hillary. Hillary, I hope, has received credit for not being negative towards Bernie. And we got a train right behind that train. Yeah, as much as I like about Bernie and admire Bernie, one of the things I will admit to getting tired of is the notion of Bernie getting so much credit for not having gone negative on Hillary. Bernie never had to go negative on Hillary. There's no need to beat up someone when you've got a dozen Republicans doing that full-time for you anyway, and have had a Republican community that's been beating up on Hillary for the last 25 years, while you've been largely ignored off in your corner of the Senate, as viewed as pretty much a gadfly or a non-entity by most of the people involved in politics. Hillary, for her part, I give credit for not going negative on Bernie. But of course, that's mostly a political decision from the get-go as well. You don't want to offend the Bernie supporters. I hope that if Hillary winds up the candidate, as I admit I hope she does, that those supporters of Bernie who have been so fervent and enthusiastic for him will come and join the campaign. And that's a point where also, if they don't, if you are a Bernie or bust supporter of Mr. Sanders, then don't give Sanders credit for having brought you into the political process. If the minute he is gone, you're gone, then you didn't become a part of the political process. You just were looking for your candidate. Were you only in it for what was for you, or are you in it for what's best for the country? If you're going to abandon the race when Bernie is gone, then you are clearly not that worried about what's good for the country. Because this is a huge, huge race. One of the most decisive races I can remember in my lifetime. If it comes down to Hillary versus Trump or Hillary versus Cruz, that is an enormous difference. Even John Kasich, who is at least, semi-reasonable of a human being for a Republican, is an enormous difference between him and Hillary Clinton when it comes to running the country, when it comes to the important Supreme Court justices they might pick. This is an important race. So whether you're for Bernie now, whether you're for Hillary now, whether you're for anybody now, I hope that whatever happens over the next couple months before we get to the general election, you will not turn your back on the campaign after that. So we've hit the sunlight, so I'm going to stop vlogging now and maybe talk more about this later, or maybe I'll think of something better to say. But I am curious to see what happens in Wisconsin, and hope you're following the race to a certain extent, even if you're not in the United States, but in particular, of course, if you are. Okay, Milan's track meet is over and the election results are pouring in. I'm not sure what the score of the track meet was. I think they did pretty well. In the election results, Bernie won as expected. It's tough to call this early right now what those margins are going to be. He was up by about 12 points earlier and then it just fell to about 6 points, but that was probably Milwaukee coming in, and it may spread wider again. But for Hillary supporters, we're hoping that it doesn't reach 20 points. If it stays around 10, even 12, that won't change the narrative going forward. So that's good for us Hillary fans, and hopefully good for the Democratic race. Well, I'll go on. That's the end of my vlog for today. Talk to you again tomorrow. Until then, don't forget to be awesome, and I will talk to you again soon, hopefully.